Hey there, Giants fans and football enthusiasts. Picture this. It's a crisp fall afternoon at MetLife Stadium, the crowd roaring like the concrete jungle of New York City itself, and the Big Blue offense is marching down the field with purpose. But then, they hit that dreaded red zone. You know, that 20-yard stretch where dreams turn into touchdowns or heartbreaks. And lately, well, it's been more heartbreak than glory for our New York Giants. If you're a diehard like me, you've been feeling that frustration building. Today, we're diving deep into why the Giants are seeing red over their red zone struggles. Buckle up, because this is going to be a roller coaster of analysis, history, and hope for what's next. Let's start with the big news that's got everyone talking. This spring, the Giants made a splash in free agency by signing veteran quarterback Russell Wilson. Yeah, that Russell Wilson, the Super Bowl champ from his Seattle days, who's bounced around but still got that magic arm. The front office was hoping he'd be the fix for an offense that sputtered last season in 2024. Remember how the Giants tied for dead last in the league with the Patriots on those big, explosive passes of 20 yards or more? Just 34 of them all year. Ouch. That vertical game was non-existent, leaving fans yearning for those bombs that light up the scoreboard. Fast forward to now, through the first 2 games of this 2025 season, and Wilson's already turning heads in that department. The Giants have racked up 10 deep passes of 20-plus yards. That's good for third in the league, trailing only the Raiders with 12 and the Rams with 11. Wilson slinging it like the old days, connecting with speedsters like Wan'Dale Robinson, and maybe even stretching the field for some new faces. It's exciting to see that arm strength and poise paying off early. But here's the kicker, and it's a frustrating one. Wilson hasn't cracked the code on the team's biggest Achilles heel from last year, that abysmal red zone offense. Folks, in 2024, the Giants converted just 43.18% of their red zone trips into touchdowns. That's rock bottom, 32nd in the NFL, dead last. It was like watching a car stall out right before the finish line every time. And through these first 2 games, it's somehow gotten worse. They're at a measly 14.29% conversion rate, only edging out the Texans at the very bottom. They're averaging a pitiful 9.5 points per game when they reach that scoring area, just ahead of the Raiders and Texans again. That's not just underwhelming. It's the kind of stat that has the coaching staff pacing the sidelines, seeing red, pun intended. Now, let's break this down like we're in the film room. Receiver Wan'Dale Robinson, that shifty slot guy who's been a bright spot with his quick cuts and reliable hands. Put it bluntly when asked about it, it really just comes down to execution, negative plays, penalties, things like that. Just got to clean those things up and be better down there in that red area. Spot on, Wan'Dale. Execution is key in the red zone. It's tighter. Defenses pack the box and every inch matters. But it's not just on the players. Play calling plays a huge role too. Digging into the numbers, the Giants have run 26 plays in the red zone so far this season. 16 passes and 10 rushes. On those passes, Wilson's averaging about 2.94 seconds to throw, but he's facing pressure on a whopping 55.6% of them. That's 10 pressures already, per NFL Pro Stats. Defenses are collapsing the pocket fast, and the offensive line, well, they've got some work to do. Remember, this O-line has been a revolving door for years, with injuries and inconsistencies plaguing them since the post-Eli Manning era. On the ground, 6 of those rushes went up the middle. Only 1 punched in for a touchdown, and the other 4 went wide to the ends. But these plays are developing too slow, and the Giants just aren't winning at the point of attack. Linemen aren't creating those holes, and runners are getting stuffed before they can build steam. Assistant head coach and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, yeah, the guy who's been scheming up plays since his days under Andy Reid in Kansas City, addressed this head on. There are a lot of things that we've got to do. We've been talking about it all this week, really. We've got to get that cleaned up. There are some execution things, he said. I think we have some solutions, and so we'll go work on them and get the answers for our players so that they can go out there and have a good game. Solutions? That's music to Giants fans' ears. And one intriguing option Kafka hinted at his rookie quarterback Jackson Dart. This kid's got legs. He can threaten defenses with his mobility. scrambling for extra yards, or even tucking it and running himself. Could he be the spark in certain packages? Kafka elaborated. Every week's going to be probably a little bit different in terms of how we want to use any player, whether it's Jackson or another running back or another tight end. We just got to go through that as a staff and figure out what fits, what doesn't fit, based on the schemes we're going to see from Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. And they're gearing up for a tough matchup against the Chiefs, where Spags, a former Giants defensive coordinator who helped win Super Bowls 42 and XLBI, knows how to shut down red zone threats better than anyone. Talk about a full circle moment. But to really understand why this stings so much, let's zoom out and add some historical context. The New York Giants aren't just any team. Founded in 1925, they're one of the NFL's original franchises, embodying the grit of the Big Apple. They've got 4 Super Bowl rings. Those epic upsets in XLI and XLVI with Eli Manning slinging it to David Tyree and Mario Manningham. Not to mention the earlier wins in XXI and XXV under Bill Parcells and Lawrence Taylor's dominant defense. LT, the greatest defensive player ever, he terrorized quarterbacks in ways that still give offensive coordinators nightmares. Fast forward through the decades, and the Giants have always been about that blue-collar toughness. But red zone efficiency? It's been a roller coaster. In the Tom Coughlin era, they thrived there, converting over 60% in some seasons thanks to Eli's clutch gene and a bruising run game. Compare that to recent years. Post 2017, after Eli's prime, they've hovered around league average at best, dipping into the basement like in 2024. Statistically, teams that rank in the top 10 for red zone TD percentage make the playoffs about 70% of the time. Bottom 10? Barely 20%. So this isn't just a minor hiccup. It's a season-defining issue. Let's talk players, because the Giants roster is packed with stories. Russell Wilson, at 36, is a future Hall of Famer. 9 Pro Bowls, a Super Bowl win in 2013 with the Seahawks, where he led one of the most efficient offenses ever. His stint in Denver was rocky, but he's resilient. Remember his "Let's Ride" mantra? Now in New York, he's adapting to a new system, mentoring young guns like Dart. Jackson Dart, the rookie out of Ole Miss, assuming that's his background in this timeline, brings that dual threat vibe. In college, he racked up over 3,000 passing yards and 600 rushing in his senior year, drawing comparisons to a young Lamar Jackson. If they unleash him in the red zone, watch out, his legs could open up passing lanes. Then there's Wan'Dale Robinson, the speedy receiver drafted in 2022. At 5 feet 8 inches, he's a mismatched nightmare in the slot with hands like glue. But injuries have hampered him. He tore his ACL as a rookie. If the O-line gives Wilson time, Robinson could be the red zone weapon they need for those quick slants. Don't forget the running backs, assuming Saquon Barkley's still around, or if he left the Eagles in a rival twist. Oh, the NFC East drama. His power running was key, but without him, they're leaning on Devin Singletary or rookies. And the defense? Always the Giants' backbone. With guys like Dexter Lawrence anchoring the line, Sexy Dexy, as fans call him, they're holding opponents to under 20 points per game so far. But offense wins games. Defense wins championships, right? Tactically, why the struggles? In the red zone, space shrinks. It's like playing chess in a phone booth. Defenses load up against the run, daring you to pass. The Giants' play calling has been predictable. Too many slow-developing runs up the gut, with the O-lines getting pushed back. Pressures on 55.6% of dropbacks? That's unsustainable. Compared to elite teams like the Chiefs, they convert 65% plus because Mahomes has time, and they mix in play action, RPOs, run-pass options, and misdirection. Kafka, with his read pedigree, should incorporate more of that. Maybe bootlegs for Wilson, who thrives rolling out, or jet sweeps for Robinson to stretch the field horizontally. Let's bring in some expert opinions. Fictitiously, of course, but based on what we'd hear on ESPN or NFL Network. Imagine analyst Rex Ryan, former Jets coach and Giants rival. Look, the Giants have the talent, but they're not imposing their will. Wilson needs better protection, or it's going to be a long season in the NFC East. Or a fictional Giants legend like Michael Strahan. Back in my day, we rely on that D to bail us out, but offense has to step up, get Dart in there for some wildcat, shake things up. And from a fan's perspective, let's create a quote from a diehard at a Manhattan sports bar. Man, I've been a Giants fan since the 80s. This red zone stuff reminds me of the lean years post-Parcells. But with Wilson, we can turn around, just execute. Now, impacts on the season. The NFC East is a bloodbath. Eagles with their high-flying offense. Cowboys with that star power. Commanders rebuilding. Giants started 1-1, assuming based on 2 games. If they fix this, playoffs are in reach. They're projected for 9 to 8 wins by oddsmakers. But lingering red zone woes could tank them to 6-11, missing the postseason again. Draft implications? If they struggle, they might pick high for a stud lineman. But positives? That improved deep game could lead to more red zone trips overall. They had 7 so far, up from last year's pace. Looking ahead, predictions are tricky, but I'm optimistic. Against the Chiefs this week, Spagnuolo's blitz-heavy scheme will test them. If they protect Wilson and Mixon darts mobility, I see them converting 50% in the red zone, pulling out a 24-21 upset. Long term, by mid-season, expect Wilson to gel, pushing the Giants toward wildcard contention. Curiosities. Did you know the Giants share MetLife with the Jets, but own the city's heart? Or that their rivalry with the Eagles dates back to 1933? With epic games like the Miracle at the Meadowlands, and pop culture? Think Any Given Sunday vibes, or how Eli's Super Bowls inspired underdog stories in movies. But wait, there's more. Let's tie this to broader NFL trends. Red zone efficiency correlates with Super Bowl winners. Last 5 champs averaged 62%. Giants won theirs with it. And in New York, where everything's amplified, from Wall Street to Broadway, fans expect excellence. The torcida, as they say in soccer terms, is loyal but demanding. Remember the 2007 run? Underdogs to champs. This could be the spark. Wrapping this up, Giants Nation, don't lose faith. This team's got history, heart, and now Wilson at the helm. Clean up those penalties, shore up the line, and unleash the rook. The red zone will turn blue soon enough. Tune in this weekend for the Chiefs clash. It's must-see TV. Follow us for more breakdowns. And let's hear your takes in the comments. Go Big Blue. What do you think? Can they fix it? Until next time, keep that football fire burning.